Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Navamsa video of the week. And this week we're going to be covering Jupiter in the 11th house of your D9 Navamsa chart. And what happens when Jupiter, Guru, is sitting in the 11th house of your D9 Navamsa, which is one of the most important charts in Vedic Astrology. It is the chart that signifies your strength of planets, the core of the planets, what they represent internally, represents the married life, what you get through marriage. It also represents the chart of maturity that you get after 36 when Saturn matures. So it's a very important chart. Without it, unless you have to learn like mathematical degrees and padhas, you would need the D9 Navamsa. And if you do not know what planetary alignments you have in your D9 Navamsa, including your birth chart and all the other astrological details, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, consultations, and link to my academy, Vedic Astrology Academy, where I'm currently going to start Planets Through Nakshatra lesson course starting March 10th. So, without further ado, let's start this Jupiter video. So, Jupiter in the Navamsa 11th house is probably one of the best position for Jupiter to be in. Because first of all, think about what Jupiter is a significator of. Which houses does it really signifies in astrology? It represents the second house of family, wealth, nourishment, fifth house of children, intelligence, ninth house of gurus, father, higher knowledge, your pilgrimage, and 11th house of fulfillment of desires and recognition. So here, a planet that signifies these four most important houses in any divisional chart, including the birth chart, is now in the highest of the desired houses, which is 11th house. Now, here, Jupiter most definitely shows that through marriage, one gains wealth to fulfill one's desires, gains friends with knowledge, so one's wisdom rises, gain of teachers and gurus. Perhaps you gain different gurus in your life. One teaches you mantras, the other teaches you Jyotish, the other teaches you Kriya Yoga, and the other is pretty much your Sadguru. There's going to be many of these type of situations, and usually this person later in life will only like to make friends who have wisdom, who have clarity in life. Okay, who have clarity in life. Now, if Jupiter is corrupted, let's say in the 11th house, by a conjunction, association, or aspect of a malefic, then what happens is only after marriage does a person receives, their higher status, their gains. And usually, a person with malefic impact on Jupiter will always have some selfish agenda to gain something. So if let's say they're seeking a guru, perhaps it's not because they long for a guru initially. Initially, it's about what can I attain from a guru? I want this knowledge. I want that knowledge. I want that knowledge. But as you know, guru is the type of energy that even the most corrupted person becomes pure. Even the most corrupted person becomes pure. I'm thinking of an analogy. Like, for example, you pour poison into Ganga. Even just one drop, or let's say one bottle, it won't do anything. It'll get purified in a way. Same thing here. So with the malefic agenda, the agenda is very selfish, self-centered, but one then gains the true value of what they were seeking selfishly. Even with their friends and connection, they want to know. It's not about gaining money. If they feel that this person can teach me, Ashtanga Yoga, I want to invite them to my house. I want to be just the perfect host to this person. But like I said, as they progress in their age, especially in their 40s, their agenda from selfishness goes to selflessness. So even in the end, if that guru or teacher does not end up giving them what they were looking for, they still love that person. So it's a very purified, it's like Gangaajal, Jupiter. Okay. Now, Jupiter also represents other significance, like wars, strategies. Jupiter represents, dogmatic and fatalistic thinking, depending upon how Jupiter is in one chart. Because Jupiter is not always good, as you see in the chart of, any kind of a criminal, any kind of like a racial, racist organization. So you see the wrong side of Jupiter coming up. And the other thing we see with Navamsa is that through birth of children, you gain. Now, let's say you must be thinking, well, what if Jupiter is debilitated? Well, if Jupiter is debilitated, Jupiter really concentrates on the material side of life. More than the spiritual, they'll try to grasp more material. For them, those things become very important. Banking, how do I make that money? How do I get that wealth? Because only when I get that wealth will I be able to seek some spiritual knowledge. So those are the differences that happen. Now, of course, your Jupiter, even if it's debilitated in the 11th house, it could have a niche bhang, meaning cancellation of debilitation. So what happens is, as much as you may think that this person is seeking a high status, but what happened, that person, by seeking that high status, they suddenly become a divine inspiration for the world. Okay. The other thing you will notice with Jupiter in the 11th house is that a person seeks wealth and material things in foreign lands. And they seek bed pleasures. That's right. With Jupiter in the 11th, one will seek bed pleasures. And I've said this before as well. Go read the definition of Hamsa Yoga. It's one of the Mahapurush Yogas. Once you read that, you will know. Then, Jupiter also shows here that one will have a beautiful big home. Usually one will desire after a while to have a big home, or a big land, or a big place to call their residence, or hermitage, or ashram, anything. They would like to have it big because they feel they want to do more with those things that they have. And usually one will always gain through the mother with Jupiter in the 11th. And obviously wealth, definitely, like I said, only later in life that a person is able to accumulate wealth, especially if Jupiter is corrupted. If Jupiter is uncorrupted, then you will be able to start, gaining wealth and status and money literally from the age of 27, 25. But again, this is not just one planetary thing. I mean, you could have that and you may not have anything right now, because you have to understand the dasha, the yoga, and the strength of Jupiter in the birth chart compared to the one in the Navamsa. But Jupiter definitely blesses a person with a spouse and children, because its drishti, its sight is on the 5th house and the 7th house. Okay. So anyway, guys, this was my analysis of Jupiter in the 11th house of your D9 Navamsa chart. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below so you don't miss these type of videos. And if you want to know where your Jupiter plays, all your astrological details, check out the links here in the shop section. Otherwise, we'll see you on